This time on Andy's Motorcycle Obsessions, we're looking live through a slightly jauntier angle. G'day everybody, welcome back. Have a look at this thing. How cool is that? So this is my first ever introduction to a 360 degree camera, and anybody that's living in Australia would know that while the rest of the country is on fire, Tasmania has been cold and wet and windy and absolutely horrible. So this is the first real time I've had a chance to actually get out and test this thing out. I've had it for a week or so, or a couple of weeks now. So what's it all about? Now, I was approached by Insta360. Let's not run out of petrol. And I was pretty excited about that. Well, at first I thought, oh, okay. This sounds like something that's going to be over my head, because listen, I am a Luddite. I am not a camera guy. So for me, I didn't want to know about all the, oh, you got to do this and set that ISO to that and that frame rate to this and da-da-da-da-da. I just want something that I can turn on and I know it's going to work. So I shit myself when I finally realised that I'd agreed to take on this 360 degree camera, which I have nothing about. So I'm just a mug on YouTube. If this is the first time to my channel, I'm just a mug on YouTube with motorcycle based content. I do a bit of moto vlogging, I do workshop stuff in the garage. So if that's what you're into, cool, come along, click subscribe, and don't forget the bell notification. All that out of the way. So they said on the sometime in December, and I think it's the 12th, 13th, somewhere around that. I'll put the details on the screen. We're going to be trying to have a promotion, and we really want to push motorcycle based stuff, because we think we've got an action cam that stacks up. So I guess the question is, can this work as a standalone action cam? Now, I've had a bit of a look on YouTube, and there's lots of guys that are, I'm not the first to do this, there's plenty of guys that have got motorcycle based stuff, and a lot of them are very professional channels, unlike me. Yeah, so they've probably got a little bit more of a polished presentation, but I just wanted to slap it on the bike and go for a ride, because let's face it, if you're thinking about something like this, that's what you want to do too. Now, does it stand up as a standalone action cam? Probably not. And there's a lot of comparisons out there with other action cameras like GoPro Hero 7 Blacks and Hero 8s and the GoPro 360 camera. Now, I'm not going to do that, but what I will do is say that my experience is, you see this sock on my GoPro here? That stops the sound being just completely inaudible. If worse comes to worse and I'm out doing a shoot and I forget to turn on this camera, or I forget to plug in the microphone, and these are all the Luddite things I touched on earlier, well then that thing can at least capture a little bit of background noise. I can throw a music track on it and put a video out on that's still, you know, something that people might want to watch. That ain't going to happen with this thing. It's just going to be wind noise, so it's going to sound like this. And we're only doing 80 kilometers an hour, so you know, once you start getting up in the higher speeds, I think it'll be it's next to useless. But in terms of the audio that it captures when you're not in we haven't got it flailing on a stick outside of your motorcycle, it's actually pretty bloody good. Now for my content, if I'm working in the garage, I use a wireless radio microphone, and I record the sound into a GoPro. This is the thing, I use GoPros for everything. I've got 3 of them, and they're all clapped out, they're old, they're GoPro Hero 4s, well past due for an update. And one of the biggest problems with the earlier GoPros is the lack of stabilisation. Now this thing is waving around a fair bit out there, so the proof will be in the pudding when you and I are watching this back, as to how good the stabilisation is. Now motorcycle stuff. So they've put together a bundle, a motorcycle bundle, and this Meccano looking frame that you can see here is a part of that motorcycle bundle. So the bundle has this trellis type frame, and it did come with the normal GoPro type or action camera type mounting screws like this guy here. But I noticed when I put it together that I could see them, because this camera is bloody clever. All the software takes care of everything for you, and it stitches together the 360 degree map, because there's two cameras. So there's the one that I can see here on the front and one that's looking down at the ground, and it stitches it together in a 360 degree loop, and it omits that bar down the middle. I think you can still see the little the nut for the Q20 camera adapter, because that's how it mounts. But it comes, like the motorcycle pack comes with a myriad of different stick-on mounts, and this assembly here, all the stuff that you can use with regular action mount accessories, so you can mix and match and do your own thing. Now speaking of doing your own thing, because I was given this camera as a trial to try out and hopefully promote for Insta360 their ONE X camera and motorcycle bundle, because I was given this thing, it gave me the luxury of being able to spend a little bit more money on something that I think might be a good alternative. Now of course, and we'll pull up in a second and have a look at that, but of course this thing here is perfectly adequate, and it's designed for this camera, so you know it's going to hold the weight, you know it's going to be able to cope with the stresses. Oh, getting back to the mountings, I removed those action camera mounting screws, and I just fitted some button-headed socket-headed cap screws, which peeled them right out of the way, and that way it doesn't matter what angle I have that camera sitting at on that frame, it doesn't seem to you don't seem to see them. Now I don't like sticking mounts all over my bike. There's guys that do, I'm perfectly cool with that, and you know, I mean I've stuck one onto the top yoke on my Ducati, but on basket case here I'm a bit loath to stick anything on it. I'm happy to bolt things on. So this mount is really good, because it's got rubber, it's very sturdy, it's got a rubber liner, and it comes with 2 different sizes, so you can sort of range it across a variety of different size tubes. You can bolt it on your frame, you can bolt it onto a grab rail, onto handlebars, anywhere that you can get it mounted really. So I think that it's, you know, if you want to buy the motorcycle bundle, you've got the option of having the stick-ons, plus you've got the you know, it comes with a heap of Q20 mounts and adapters for various action camera mounts, so it's a pretty good option. What I did was I jumped onto the old computer and I grabbed something that has been used in mobile equipment for ages to lock things down. They're a ball socket ram mount, and I've got a couple of bits and pieces. I'm going to try a few different perspectives. So we'll pull up in a second. We'll have a look at that. We'll have a better look at this, and we'll have a look at that. Okay, so this is we just pulled up here. It's not a bad view. This is the mounting arrangement. Like I said, it did come with the action camera type screws, but I was finding they were poking out here, and it was picking them up in the, here's my eyes, it was picking them up in the field of view once it had stitched it all together. But I'm a bit limited here on the front of the bike because I've got this backward facing GoPro mount, which of course, if the 360 is successful, I won't need, so that sort of gives you a bit more option there. The other side of the handlebar is too cluttered to sort of successfully mount anything on. But the beautiful thing about 360 degrees is you're not going to miss anything. And of course, on the back of my bike, I don't have a lot of option. I did have a frame that I had mounted under here that used to have a rear-facing GoPro, but I've removed that and I've actually lost it. I don't know where I've put it. So, and I don't want to stick stuff on my bike. So what I did was I went down the route of the RAM mounts. Now this thing comes with a selfie stick, and this selfie stick is awesome. It extends out and you twist it to lock, and again it hides the stick in the stitch line, so you don't see it. The other thing it came with was this bullet time handle. So what you do there is you spin it, basically you screw this on, again a 1/4-20 adapter, you hold it above your head and you spin it around like so, and that gives you this bullet time effect. Of course it takes photos too, 360 degree photos, and you can upload them directly to social media. When you get, I'm not going to get into the editing software. I might do that in another separate video down the track, but there's plenty of tutorials on YouTube I found on working through both the phone/tablet app and the desktop app, the desktop software. And we'll have a bit of a chat about that on the ride home, but on the ride home I'm going to mount this up the back here, and we'll have a look at what other perspectives we can get. Alright, here we go. How are we looking back there? I think, you know, the thing that is really super appealing, let's see if we can do this without getting bogged with Danny from bloody $1 Million Bogan. The appealing thing is that you're not going to miss anything. I hope that's alright back there on that selfie stick. And because it gets rid of that the selfie stick, it just looks like a floating camera, so it's like you're following yourself with your drone. And that's a shot that I love to get, like on my I love getting my drone out and getting aerial footage of the bike, because you know it's always nice to have that perspective when you're riding. But it's a difficult thing to do. I've got to set the drone up to track me. I've got to be careful not to go too fast that I don't run away from the drone, and that's not very fast, trust me. But with this, you can just bloody ride along whatever pace you want to go at, and it's going to hang up there like a big old fishing rod off the side of your bike. Because it's a little bit longer, a bit of a longer mount. If I did away with all this gubbins here and mounted it off the front of my bike, wow. And like I said, you don't miss anything. Now I'm still going to have to combine, because I do moto vlogging on the bike, the wind noise is going to be an issue. There's no way of mounting an external microphone on that thing, I don't think. And if you did, you'd see it in the shot. As far as I'm aware, there is no sock that you can put over it to shut it up, so you're not going to capture any usable audio while you're riding. But for me, I just use the Sony microphone inside my helmet, and I will be recording it on the GoPro. Besides, that way you can mix it up a bit, you know, you got a couple of different camera angles to work with. Now, getting back to the software, I really like the software. It's another step for me in the workflow, and that's a minor inconvenience given the perspective that you can get from the 360-degree camera. It's not much of a price to pay, but it is a bit more time consuming in terms of editing. Now, if you keep your videos short, you can do it quite easily with your mobile devices. The software for editing of that is really user friendly. You just connect the phone to the camera by Wi-Fi or your tablet. I've got an iPad, and then you import the you actually trim, because you're always going to have, you know, a start and a finish that you don't want, so you trim the video to the length that you want to use. Then you import it directly into your camera, your phone, or your phone. They're pretty well all just cameras now anyway, aren't they? You bring the video clip into the phone, and then you can edit it in the phone, and it's got a lot of really cool features, like you can use a tracking mode, or have the camera focus to a particular point, and they've got a few party tricks, and one of the party tricks is a thing called the Tiny Planet, which everyone seems to love. And the Tiny Planet looks like this. So that's pretty freaky. But in the desktop software, because I've filmed for quite a length of time, and that's another thing, the battery life is reported to be about an hour. I don't know, I haven't run it long enough. I have gone for a 30-minute ride on the bike. That was my first trial on it last weekend, but I didn't really, that was just essentially a getting to know it from my perspective. But that 30-minute ride, my iPad, my mobile devices couldn't handle the size of the file. These are big files. So shooting in 5K on the video at the moment, you've got different settings. Obviously you can reduce that, and you can get really high frame rates too if you want to do a lot of slow-mo stuff. So the camera's super versatile, and I mean, I'm trying to show you what you can do with it on a motorbike. but if you're interested in more in the details of the camera and all its features and functions, there's plenty of other people that have done videos like that. So go out and have a look at them. I may do some in the future, but right now I'm just I'm not an authority on cameras, and I've said that already. But yeah, they're really big files, so what you have to do, what I found I had to do, was import it into the computer. It's got a micro SD card on it, so it's fairly standard, or whatever you use for any other action camera. And you transfer the files into the computer, and then when you open up the desktop app, you import the video files. Now it does 2 videos. It's recording 2 videos because of course there's 2 cameras, one facing forward, one facing back, and then it stitches them together. So you import the 2 files, and it automatically joins them up into one file and pops it into the software for you to play with. And then it's a matter of going through the footage and manipulating the camera as to how you want it to look in that bit of footage. So it does take quite a bit of time. You can imagine a 30-minute clip, you've got to go through all of that video and put in all the keystone marks for where you want the camera pointing and manipulate it. But at the end of it, then you just export it and saves it to your computer as an MP4 file, and then you just drag that into your editing software and edit it as you would any other action camera. And my software, I have multi-camera editing capabilities, so I can drag that GoPro, this GoPro, plus the Insta360 ONE X into my multi-cam designer and put them all together. I just clap all the cameras in to synchronise the audio, and then I use audio synchronisation to bring them together. So it is an extra step in the workflow in terms of converting the 360-degree file into something that's watchable. So you got to sort of budget that time to do it if you want to take advantage of this fantastic perspective. Have a look at this thing. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the battery life is a little bit well, it's pretty good considering it's running 2 cameras, and it's got a lot of tech on board, but I will need to buy a couple of extra batteries, because when I go on a ride, if I'm filming, I can be riding for 6-8 hours and I'll be filming the whole time. So I carry a pocket full of batteries for my GoPros, and it makes no difference. I'll just have to buy a couple of more batteries for this thing. Make sure they're all charged up before I go. I do have a USB port hidden down in here, but so I could charge while I'm riding, but the reality is, for me, it's just a lot simpler to have 3 or 4 batteries charged up, ready to go. The fact that there's no screen on the Insta360 ONE X other than the little LCD menu screen that you toggle through using both the power button and the activate button. There's no screen to be able to sort of see what you're capturing, but it does connect to your devices. So if you were so inclined, all you got to do is bring the camera up on your phone, connect it via Wi-Fi to the phone, and bring it up and have a look at what your field of view looks like. And you could even run your telephone up on your handlebars if that's something that you're into. I'm not. I just know it's captured at 360 degrees. So what are you worried about? The only variation will be, like what sort of elevation you've got the camera at, or So it's not really a variable that I'm too worried about. Just think about where the camera is situated. That's going to be, the field of view will be 360 degrees from that point, and it gives a bit of a fisheye effect, so it can look further away than what it really is. So I really hope that you like having a look at the Insta360 ONE X clapped onto a motorcycle. I hope I haven't bored you shitless. If you've hung around this long, great, good on you. If you want to take advantage of their promotions, I'll put a link in the description to the Insta360 ONE X store and also Amazon. And if you click on those links, these are affiliates that I've set up. So if you click on those links and you do choose to buy one, because they're super cool, and you use those links, I'll get a little bit of a kickback. So come on, nothing wrong with that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and I'll catch you next time on Andy's Motorcycle Obsessions. Bye for now.